guys, welcome back with another video at Linksi. It's been a while, so hi. I've been doing short videos non-stop for the past 2 weeks. My internet has been really shit, so haven't been that motivated. I live streamed today, and here I am. Well, I would like to have a chat today with you about the Norscan legendary lords, and that's why. Let's get started. Straight off the bat, we'll start with Wulfric the Wanderer, but not just the legendary lord himself. We're also going to look at the faction bonuses he has if you start as him, and why would you want to start as him compared with, in this case, the only other person there is, or should I say, troll there is of course Trogg. Trogg is troll. Yeah, I was going to say something else, I don't even know. Well, Wulfric gets the Gift of Tongues, which gives Mammoths 15 melee attack and upkeep for marauder units, minus 15%. It's not much, but it does help quite a bit. Why am I getting out of breath so fast? That is interesting. No, I do have a voice when I do videos. Then he gets Born Warrior as his personal trait, as his leadership trait, which gives him Siege Attacker, which is very important for Wulfric, as he needs that ability early on to be able to break sieges, as well as Norskens don't really have siege equipment, artillery of the such, unless of course you get the Iceforge Legion. But that is a very end game unit. You also get reinforcement train of 30% more increased and causes fear. The entire army causes fear. His unique skills are, well, few. This is where it comes into a problem with the Norskens. Norskens don't really have unique skills. They did come at a time in between Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2 when things were changing. They never got an update. This is why we're expecting an update coming up. And this was a video I was kind of postponing from doing because of this. They're lackluster. There's not much to say about them. And mainly speaking, the main things that we can look at is Norscan resilience, maybe in the blue line, which gives it's similar to other factions as well, but you know, having a 5% casualty replenishment in the first bracket of the blue line is very important. It does help quite a bit with the Norscan lines. He does get Seafang automatically unlocked, which is an incredibly powerful ability, basically summoning a boat that just decimates everything in its path, doing super high damage against large units, infantry units that have large quantity of units in them. So they would do very well against great swords, but will do very badly against the steam tank. And you get 3 costs, 90-second cooldowns, quite high, but it is very powerful. I have gotten 300 to 600 kills on each cast when used in the right manner. He does also have the Sword of Trogg. It's a very powerful sword. +5 public order is insane. It's absolutely insane. One of the strongest in the game. +10 melee attack, +10% weapon strength, increased post-battle loot +10%, 90% base weapon damage when activated. It's really good, really good. It's just honestly, but then that's it. I mean, he gets a War Mammoth, he gets the Eternal Challenger, which is a little bit extra armor piercing damage, 15, it's not much. He gets the Eye of the Gods, which gives him 7% weapon strength, and that's it. I mean, Hunter of Champions is his version of upgraded Foe Seeker, which is slightly different. He just reduces the speed, the armor, and the melee defense of an enemy lord or hero, basically due to him being a duelist. But apart from that, there isn't much. There is something to know that there is a unique thing here for Wulfric as well, for Norskens, that you can either get stand or die in the red 3 line or fight or die. And it basically either increases your melee attack or melee defense and leadership by the same amount. Just, you know, changing that, and it's kind of nice. How are you gonna make your armies better? Fine, you're making your mammoths stronger in your faction, which is great, but then you're not buffing any units at all in your roster except the red line and normal red line. So skill trees wise, very dry. Also, movement range is a big issue for Norskens. They do start in one of the most horrible locations to move, and the movement speed, movement buff that they have is only Route March, which is 10%, and then you maybe can get an item or two to help you along with that, but it's very limited, very limited. But with that said, let's jump into Trogg and see if he has anything better. He does a few more buffs ironically speaking, as horrible as he is, he does have a few more buffs here and there. So, looking at Trogg, what do we notice with him? Well, first things, he does buff trolls. He does 15% physical resistance for normal, Norscan trolls, and ice trolls. It's really good. That's really high. It does help them a lot, especially with their regen. This kind of synergizes incredibly well, allowing him to have faction-wide really good trolls. The main issue is Stanza Trolls are a unit with very weak leadership, as we've seen in my recent short videos. If you want to check them out, I posted them a couple of days ago now. And he also reduces their upkeep, so making them easier to spam, which again on Legendary doesn't really work that well, considering the enemy usually has way more leadership than you, and trolls get terrified very easily of the battlefield, so you're going to be losing a lot. Even though they're strong, they're not that strong. With himself being a monstrous ruler, he gets siege attacker as well, same thing as we spoke with, of course, Wulfric, where Norskens need to have siege attacker enabled in case of walls. He gets extra 1 public order for the local province. Nothing special, but it does help. And all of units in Trogg's army are immune to attrition, which is quite strong. This is strong. You have chaos attrition, you have ice attrition, you have all of this kind of stuff. It's important you have this resistance, and especially where Trogg spawns, it's very difficult to get anywhere. Taking again the movement being an issue, and getting places is an issue. Of course, if you use the movement bug and the movement exploit, you're going to be absolutely fine. If you want any idea how to use these, please check the video. It's going to be in the description down below, or first comment, whichever one it is. That said, when then we look at the skills that he has, again, it is so sparse. It is so, and it shows. It shows that it's been I think now 4 years since Warhammer 2 came out, and it shows this is a 4 or 5 year old system. It's the game has adapted, evolved, and certain factions have been left in the dust. And one of these factions is, of course, Norsca. Another one is Chaos, Beastmen. They all have lacking personality when it comes to specific traits, specific ways of playing, and especially when speaking in terms of fun legendary lord abilities. They used to be very different compared to today. Today they are much more modular and entertaining in that regard. That said, he gets copious vomit, which does literally what it says. He vomits on his enemies. He's able to do it 3 times, 60-second cooldown. It's high damage, but it's very centralized. You're not going to be doing a lot of enemies. It's good against 1 or 2 units, but that's just about it. Or a pile up of units. He does get the Wintertooth Crown, which gives him chaos corruption for local province. He gets a recruitment cost reduction 10% for the Lord's army. He makes himself and the allies around him unbreakable for 24 seconds, and able to intercept underground and melee defense. It's okay. It's nothing special. Same thing with Eye of the Gods, same as the Lust in Wulfric's. He does get Mutant Regeneration, which increases the casualty replenishment rate by 25% for all Norscan Ice Trolls, Trolls, and Female Warriors, plus missile resistance for them. But this is just the Lord's army, so even though it's good, it's not that great. He does get King of the Trolls, which gives more public order for local province. Leadership for Trolls, this is really important. This is what I was saying. Ironically, Trogg has better buffs for his units than Wulfric, but then Wulfric has the faction-wide buff for Mammoth. And the upkeep reduction, again, more upkeep reduction. This is just stacks up to make super cheap units. You constantly replacing them. Primordial Masters, Force Rims are stronger, basically higher melee defense and faster charge bonus. Monstrous Fiends, he again boosting Female Warriors, Ice Trolls, giving them melee defense, a bit of melee attack, and just strengthening them. But then that's it. That's it. There's nothing that's really interesting. There's Spawn of Chaos, which is useless. It's experience every turn. You're not really going to need that. If you're fighting consistently and winning consistently, you're going to be fine. There is nothing else in this skill tree. Norsca is a faction that's been left behind, kind of ignored, but mostly because we know now an update is coming, and a big update is coming to Warhammer 2 factions and Warhammer 1 factions in preparation for Warhammer 3, so keep that in mind and understand that this is happening. I think Norsca will get a big upgrade before we get into Warhammer 3, along with Chaos Warriors, as they are, as an introduction to Chaos Waste's opening. Talking about the chaos rates, check out the Vermintide chaos rates updates. It's fantastic. I will have a video about that soon. I'm trying to collect my thoughts about it because there's so many, and I, frankly speaking, can stop playing it in my free time. But that said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been and will be, for now, the Norsken legendary lords, the Norsken factions, which are Wolfrip and Trogg, and their respective legendary lords. Of course, you can confederate others. Something to actually note is confederation with Norskens, because some people don't know this. It actually works. You defeat the enemy leader, and they kind of join you in confederation, so you can confederate really fast. It's sort of the same with the orcs as well, but I didn't mention it, and I didn't realize people had no clue, so there you go. But that said, if you enjoy the videos, do subscribe to the channel. Helps a lot. Been having a lot of problems recently with my internet. I've been having a lot of problems with YouTube itself. Been having, basically, whenever people subscribe, it just unsubscribes them, and basically 1 of every 2 people that subscribed to me in the past month were unsubscribed, and it does kind of suck when you look at the numbers. Just but that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, thank you for being here, and above all else, have a lovely day. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye!